Hi guys! This is the running stitch. This is a fantastic design created by young designer, The Imagination, and this is his account. This is a young man and he's really very promising and very talented, and I believe this card is going to be very good very soon. Okay, so in today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful bracelet. Here is the card. The bracelet is quite wide and it requires 6 lines, 6 rows. So I hope it's visible enough. Maybe I will zoom in a little bit. Yes, like this. So although it looks quite complicated, it's actually not. It's quite easy to make and the pattern is very understandable and not confusing at all. Okay, we start with 8, standard 8, and then you need to take a band, pull under 2 and reclaim just this one. So you'll end up with 3 plus 2 by 2, 10 loops on your hook here, and here is where the sequence will start. In this row you need to pull 1 band just through the middle 4. These 3 and these 3 will stay as they are. In the row number 3 you take another band, pull under 3, reclaim these 2. In the row number 4 you take another band, pull under these 3 and reclaim just these 2. So you will end up with 6 on this side of the braid. And here in row number 5 you pull the last one under the first 5 and reclaim these 2. These 2 will be sticking out a little bit, so it will be easy to recognize them. So in the end you end up with 5 loops on your hook, and when you turn the hook around and repeat the rows number 3, 4 and 5 from the other side of the braid, you'll end up with 10 loops on your hook in the end. And this is the end of the sequence. Here in this diagram I started to use new symbol. This it's not a circle, I don't know how to say. It's the circle made of the broken line. Hope that's the correct expression. You probably will understand what I mean. And what this symbol means: the color scheme in the first sequence is different from the color scheme in the following sequences. It's because of the beginning and because of the setup. You just can't match the same colors on your hook like you will have after you have finished the first sequence. And to avoid rewriting the entire sequence with different colors once again in the catalog card, I decided to write it just once, but here in these circles are those loops that will change the color in the second and every following sequence. It means in the first sequence this loop will be pink, but from the second sequence on they will be green, all these loops. I hope it's clear. I couldn't find any other better symbol to show what will happen with this loop, and I believe it's quite easy to understand and it will keep the diagram simple, not too complicated and too huge. So in the first sequence this loop will be pink, and starting from the second sequence it will be green, as well as here, here and here, because it's the mirror, so it will be the same. So let's have a look how it looks in real. this is the standard 8 made of pink. Then I take the blue band, pull under these two and reclaim the band number 4. So I pull under 4, reclaim the band number 4, and I pick up these border bands to move them to the side, like this. Then turn and repeat. Like this. Oops, these bands have crossed. So I pick up the band number 4 and finish the row as usual. In the beginning, the first sequence is quite loose. You need to be patient. Starting from the second sequence, everything will sit in the place. So we have done row number 1. Now row number 2, we need to take a white band and pull under the middle 4. So I take my white and pull under the middle 4. Like this. I reclaim these last 3 and move them like so. I believe these bands have moved a little bit, but it actually doesn't matter at this stage. Never mind, we will fix that later on. So we have ended up with pink, pink, blue and white on this side and the same on the other side. Yeah. So now we are going to take a green band, pull under 3 and reclaim the bands number 1 and 3. So pull under 3 and reclaim bands number 1 and 3, like so, and close off. We continue. We are not going to repeat it right now. We're going to do the row number 3, 4 and 5, then repeat and do everything from the other side. So now we've done row number 3, now 4. Blue under these 3, reclaim these 2. So I pull the band under the loops number 3, 4 and 5, which means these 3, and I'm going to pick up number 3 and number 4. So I'll pick the green, the blue, and also these, but just to move them here. So row number 4. Row number 5, I will take the pink again, pull under 5 and reclaim number 1 and number 3. So I pull under 5 and reclaim number 1 and number 3. It's the blue and the pink. It's the blue and the green, and the pink is what I'm going to close off with. So, and that's it. This side is done. Now let's go to the other side. We've done row number 2. Now, green under 3, reclaim number 1 and number 3. So the green under 3, reclaim number 1 and number 3 and close off. Now blue under 3, 4, 5, reclaim 3 and 4. Blue under 3, 4, 5, reclaim 3 and 4. And also these, but just to be able to move them to the side and move the blue inside the braid here. So this is done, and the last step in the sequence is the pink under 5, reclaim 1 and 3. So pink under 5 like this and reclaim 1 and 3. It means the blue and the green. Then close off. So we have 10 loops. and that's the end of the sequence. Now, when we start from the start again with pulling the white under the middle 4, you may notice that the band number 2 and number 9 that were pink in the first sequence turned to green in the second sequence, and that's the symbol over here. So that's the sequence. I'm not going to repeat it because it's very simple. You can follow either the diagram or just watch that piece of the tutorial where I'm showing how to make this again and again until you learn how, and then just continue repeating the sequence until your bracelet is long enough. Once you have reached the desired length, you just finish it off. Because we have started with, for example, here in my bracelet I started with 8 loops that were blue. Here I started with 8 loops that were pink, and it looks better if the bracelet ends in the similar color scheme as it started. So it would be good if the last sequence, after this is long enough, would also be in pink shades like this. So probably, if you want, I will take some pinks and I will try to finish it to show you what I mean. Maybe I'll just continue with row number 2 to put these 4 together like this, and then we should start putting just the pink ones over here to make the same ending. So maybe make the row number 3 in pink. It means to pull pink under, but I'm not going to pull under 3, but probably under 4, and pick up just the border bands. I'll do the same from the other side. Like this. And then I maybe just pull one band through the remaining loops on the hook. So that's the running stitch, designed by the Loomagination. I'm sure you'll like it because this design is really beautiful and the designer is very talented and very promising. So if you like it, please don't forget to tag the designer and me to your renditions, and of course if you post your bracelets in the internet, don't forget to hashtag running stitch bracelet and the designer's name, and that's the Loomagination to your post. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.